the TP and Ignite from both of them is going to apply a lot of pressure to the laners that they might not have otherwise.
Yeah. The top lane, yeah, you don't really need the flash in particularly mid lane. It's such a short lane when you have the movement that LeBlanc does. Akali, I think, is pretty safe as well. Against the Renekton, I think she has the mobility to not need the flash. There's just a slight... I hate the pause bug in League, but it's back. It's all good.
There we go. He was moving. He was just moonwalking, you know, in his little astronaut suit.
So,
it is. I'd say with the thing about taking Ignite and TP though, you are looking to play very aggressive in lane, as you don't have that flash. You want to be able to burn that flash early so that your jungler can come for a gank, and you can use that Ignite effectively to finish off a kill. And we'll be seeing if they can. So I'm imagining they'll be seeing, as I said, mentioned more towards the jungler playing, maybe more towards the top side to try and snowball this Akali or LeBlanc, depending on whichever one they're focused on.
Vanir playing very aggressive here, looking potentially for a very late invade. I don't think they are though. Going back towards Nocturne's blue.
Yeah, both teams got wards down there. Both teams had information, so just gonna back off and go for each respective buff. And it's interesting to see that Nocturne is pathing. The jungle, as you mentioned, are both pathing towards opposite sides. Viego pathing towards top, and Nocturne pathing towards bot. Renekton does spot out Nocturne, able to see him.
Loftitian already going for those early trades. Denzel doing his best to meet him in the middle there.
Yeah. LeBlanc going for the Corrupting Potion as well, and we're seeing that burn matter a lot early in lane. Obviously, Salas being the melee in the matchup means he should struggle a little bit more.
We should... Where do you think the action should be? I mean, we're thinking potentially top lane, realistically, would you say?
I'm imagining so. I imagine with top or mid. Apart from with the small asterisk that, okay, maybe seeing Kaleo go in. Saw Akali get the level 2, so maybe just not wanting to fully commit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, both teams, I'm imagining that they're going to be pathing towards mid, especially, or top, especially with the picks that they've got. But Nocturne did move towards bot side, so maybe relying on Nautilus getting a big old hook or something. But they are shoving in the wave, so...
The pressure that Nautilus brings, particularly to a Scuttle Crab, in the early game is pretty impressive, and Thalio just utterly decimating the life bar of JK.
Ooh. Got a quick little pan there to see Loftitian just get electrocute procced on him by Denzel, and Denzel managing to keep the Salas in check early and making sure that he has to burn his pots just to stay in lane.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Denzel really, Denzel? Flair really applying pressure on the top side. Akali basically under a turret. Viego coming through, but I don't imagine they're going to be able to get much done unless they want to go for a tower dive in particular.
They are looking for the dive. It's not going to come out, but...
Okay. Zal JK going back in onto Faleo, but Faleo gonna just walk away. Nice little attempt there, but of course Akali having the E means that she is very easily to get out of those situations.
Yeah. And it looks like Yonseni will be able to pick up the scuttle very much uncontested, as Nocturne had taken the bot scuttle. Which is kind of like I said, both teams playing towards their strengths. Invul top lane early, whereas Vanir bot lane early.
Seeing lots of trades in the mid lane. Loftitian definitely losing out early in these trades, but that is to be expected of a ranged versus mainland mid laner. Hopefully,
Alex
just
having to flash out here. Big fight in the bot lane, and Invul definitely winning the trade there though.
Oh, I didn't see what happened. My camera was on mid. Pissed off. But no, yeah, definitely. Even with all this pressure being applied onto them, constantly pushing the tower, able to get chunk down the health bars of Vanir.
Yeah, it was a big hook by Alex, and another big hook. Mama in trouble. First blood does go. And Kralix goes down to Hellman though. 1-for-1 trade, but you definitely think that's in favour of Vanir there for sure. The first blood onto Xayah is pretty huge.
Yeah, equal summoners used for both sides, both Flash and Ignite used for both supports, and heal and exhaust used respectively for both ADs. Norla's landing a hook, making sure to get first blood, definitely worth going for. And but Kalman doing a good job to exhaust him on a tower, make sure that he gets rooted up and answer back.
Yeah. So as there's a bit of a break in the action, let's have a look at the CS leads, and it's a big CS lead already starting to open up in the top lane.
Denzel's getting a nice little cheeky stop on the recall there, making sure that Loftition has to stay in lane, and maybe could fall prey to a dive here as Kralax is looking mid, but they might not know that Loftition does have lots of backup behind him.
And while there's a big CS gap in the top lane, it's even bigger in the mid lane. 27 to 42 right now.
Okay, Renekton almost getting caught by a gank there, but able to safely get away with a dash, and just gonna hold off in this bush here. Maybe just waiting to see if he can catch the wave, and Akali recalls, as she will.
So at the 6-minute mark, there's about a 600 gold lead in the favour of Vanir, just from realistically that mid and bot lane farm difference right now. 47 and 45 in the mid and bot lane. About 10 up each on their respective laners already.
Yeah, we're seeing, as I mentioned though, top side being slightly more pressured, having the slight advantage for Invul, and bot side having the slight advantage here for Vanir, as Invul finally able to push in the bot wave, but just going to back off. Don't want to get too cocky that they can't see Nocturne on the map.
And we are starting to see the level 6 tick over. Loftition, Denzel, both in 6, both top laners are, and we will very soon see both junglers as well tick over to their ultimates.
More trades going on the mid lane, Chain's going to pop. Loftition is being very pressured here, has to be imagined. Lots of pings coming out to Drake. We might be seeing a little meet up here. Both top laners do have TP if there's looking to be a fight, but it looks like they might be going for Scuttle right now.
Yeah. Denzel does have a pretty big item advantage right now onto Loftition, which means these trades are just going to hurt even more.
Yep. Lots of movement around the Dragon Pit right now. Both teams are kind of aware that both teams are around here, but maybe not looking for that engage just yet. Blair got level 7, looking maybe to take some trades, but as I mentioned before, the Shroud is very effective at making sure Akali can deal with this matchup. Not being able to get the W stun on Renekton because you can't click on Akali is sometimes very rough.
Yeah, and Denzel just applying so much pressure onto Loftition in this mid lane, being forced out of so much CS, even under his own turret, struggling to get that. Pretty brutal.
Jonesy constantly able to catch the wave in mid, making sure that it doesn't go to waste as
Look at the damage.
Ooh, John Sonny almost lost his life for those 3 minions. Denzel playing very well in this early game as Kralax looking to land a hook. Nocturne coming in and gonna go onto the Thresh, play back, exhaust onto the Nocturne. Xayah all gonna come out, gonna burn him down, but will Ignite burn him down? He'll use to keep Nocturne alive, and Aphelios is gonna fall to the Nocturne as well. Very nice early play from Vanir to make sure that they get that big early trade in the bot lane, capitalizing from the even trade earlier.
Yeah, the use of the Paranoia after the hook, there's just so much CC in that combo, and it's so difficult for either of the Invul bot lane to do anything about it realistically. Hellman and Mama just kind of stuck. They had to try for the trade. They've used all their summoners to try and get out, and it's just unfortunate it didn't quite work out for them. But 2 kills going the way of Invul. Of Vanir.
It's not down there going Gold Drinker.
Stride Break. Is it Stride Break or Gold Drinker that goes? Half band out.
Oh, maybe seeing another thing in the game. Loftition up here, steals Akali. Oh, able to get back over the wall. Lands chains onto LeBlanc. Has to use the dash forward. Renekton W gonna land, but Denzel able to jump away. Okay, lots of Invul members up here looking to maybe secure this Rift Herald. 4 members here. for both teams, but it looks like the Vanir might have to recall after losing some of the early trades after some nice proactive play from Invul, losing that trade on the bottom side and saying, hey, okay, we'll trade on the top side. We'll get this risk on.
A good TP there from Denzel, though, applying enough pressure that the Rift Herald cannot be taken. So Invul back off. They're going to get the Scuffle Crab, I think, in consolation, but it's not quite what they wanted from that.
Yeah, definitely not what they want, especially when you move that members up. But it's kind of hard when you got that many members answering back as well. As Flair is really trying to look to apply pressure in this early game, but Akali's just so safe. Every time he jumps in, Akali just to ease away, and that's the end of it. Or just W's to make sure that she doesn't get caught by the stun. As they're gonna be looking to go in, it looks a bit far away. Catched on a ward as well. Catched is not a word. Caught on a ward is the word I was looking for. Okay, Helman taking some trades here. Xayah Feather's going to land. Going to get a big root as ult comes out from Helman, chunking out Flukes, meaning he has to flash away as Denzel is roaming down. Helman's in a bit of trouble here. Not going to be able to get away, and Denzel able to easily pick up that kill.
Yeah, a really interesting early ADC fight there. Lots of damage coming through from both, but a roam from LeBlanc. Very simple, very easy to pick up that one. And you would assume Vanir will use that to take Dragon. And I like this from Invul. They know where Vanir are going to go, so they are looking to trade Dragon for Rift Herald. And you've got to say, in the early game, Rift Herald, if you can plunk it down,
hey, Vision going in here, definitely stealing the LeBlanc ult and going really in on Denzel there. Denzel chunked out of lane for one of the first times there as Loftish maybe finally being able to trade into LeBlanc a bit easier. Helma going to have to back off here. Oh, the flash hook from Kralix just not going to land. Bit of a blunder, but doesn't matter too much. They can't really step up to the tower here to stop Xayah taking it, as they know Nocturne's probably hanging about. And Kralix is really using zoning well, allowing them to get the first turret, but Rift Tower's going to be dropped up top, meaning this tower is going to drop for Invul as well. And Akali going into Viego here, able to get over the wall, and beautiful play coming out from Zal there, meaning that he just picks up onto Viego, knows he's over the wall because of the Rift Herald, and picks up a clean kill there.
Everything Invul are trying to do is just not quite working out for them, unfortunately. While Vanir are just able to trade slightly better. They get the first turret and a kill for a single turret. It's just very much going the way of Vanir in this early to mid-game transition point. Now.
Yeah, almost 2.5k gold up at this point. You can see what they were going for on the top side there, wanting to answer back on the bottom side play by putting Rift Herald top, but Flair was just a bit too far away from Viego, not able to quickly respond to the Akali jumping on, and just because of that, Akali's able to finish off the kill so quickly that Renekton wasn't even able to join the fight, so it didn't even feel like a 2v2. It was just basically a 1v1 as Jonesy does hit level 8. Managing to keep on level with the Viego at least. The Viego? The Nocturne. Ooh.
Some damage from Flops already. He's got that Gale Force that deals so much damage, particularly if you're able to get the execute on it. I think it does scale with, low health targets.
Gale Force isn't it? Cute, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Vanir trying to get one last turret plating, they won't quite be able to. Denzel picking up the blue buff of Invul though.
It's very nice here, though. Vanir definitely making sure to keep applying the pressure, not allow up anything, even taking away jungle camps because they know that Invul aren't around and can't do much about it. And Kralix just being able to wander in the jungle. There's currently 3 members of Vanir sat in the Invul jungle, and Invul can't push them out right now. They have vision in their side, but Vanir is definitely slowly, as you can see, pushing that vision forward out from the river into the jungle.
Just really trying to choke Invul out, little by little. Just not allowing Invul any routes, any safety realistically. Now Yonsei might have to be a bit careful to go for this Grom.
Okay, means that Salah's able to steal the Nocturne ult there, but we'll have to see if he can get anything done with that. They were aware that he's completely taken it, and
the
Yeah,
paranoia.
it was as when we were mentioning earlier in the game about where the kind of pressure would be in this game. We mentioned top side, but if you look at the vision just on the map right now, there is simply both top laners control wards in the bush, and that's it. That's because Invul's been trying to get that pressure towards top side, while Vanir tries to play the bot side. But because Vanir's just coming out on top almost every time, it means that Invul are no longer able to keep applying that pressure top, really, and they have to help their bottom side or be towards their bottom side to make sure that they don't just lose everything over there.
Yeah. We've just passed the 15-minute mark, and it's a significant goal lead. And it's just creeping up ever so slowly as the minutes go by. Akali will not have a shroud here.
Flare looking on here. Nocturne not going to be used. I don't know which side this is for. I assume it's Vanir using it. The flash W going to land onto it. Salah's able to come in with the Nocturne ult. Diego Execute going to land, and they're able to pick up Zal JK. Nice answer back from Invul, able to finally pick up a kill onto the Akali for the first time this game.
Heartbreaker and Paranoia used so effectively there. And
it was well played from Invul, but what was it? Three ults and a flash needed to just kill the Akali in the top side. Yeah. And Zal JK didn't obviously use flash, but he didn't use any summoners there. So a summoner and 3 ults needed to kill Akali. I'd say Zal is playing very well this game, doing a good job at making sure that he's basically playing weak side and just making sure that he doesn't give away too much towards Invul as they are playing up there.
I mean, we say 3 ultimates and a flash. At the same time, it did secure a kill. And
oh no, it's definitely what you wanted.
It's definitely worth. Obviously, they probably used a little bit more than they wanted, but a kill is a kill. And at this point in the game, when they are chasing already, any sort of kill is worth even more when you are chasing.
For sure, you definitely want to get this ball rolling for Invul, so any kind of a trigger to start that is very helpful. We will see Vanir go for the second Drake here. Looking to early stack up with some of these Drakes, and it's either going to be Cloud Soul or Ocean Soul. If you're on the side of Vanir, I imagine you're hoping for the Ocean Soul. We'll be seeing what it is.
It is
the Ocean Soul.
That could be utterly huge when you have an Akali particularly. She's already got the Rift Maker. She's going to have, eventually will have Conqueror, fully stacked up in fights. That Ocean healing is going to be brutal if they do manage to get the soul.
For sure, and I like that the Akali has picked up Oblivion Orb already. I mentioned earlier how much healing is on the side of Invul, and Akali picking that up means that it's going to be able to at least cut off that a bit. Even not even just against the Renekton in lane, but of course against the other picks from Invul as well.
I would definitely like to see Hellman at least pick up the Executioner's Calling pretty early as well.
Ooh, Denzel going to go on to Silas here. The chain's going to be able to lock up, but the ult stolen away means that he's able to teleport out and able to survive. But Denzel playing a very aggressive here, waiting in bushes in the Invul jungle, waiting to catch some of them off and keep applying that pressure, making sure that Invul don't feel safe in their own jungle.
From what was a very shaky early game, Invul have done quite well to stabilise at this point. Then they haven't gotten any further behind particularly, which is really important. But
yeah, it's kind of...
Sorry, yeah. Go on.
No, I was just going to mention that it's stagnated at about 2.5k gold lead for about a while now, which is still a lead, but definitely good that Invul were able to stop the snowball rolling. As I mentioned in the draft, this game is very... both teams are very snowbally, so it'll be interesting here as we do see Hellman being jumped on by Xayah and LeBlanc, but able to use the Thresh Lantern to get away. That is the benefit of having that. A kind of get out jail free card. Ping's coming out. Maybe Invul looking to make a play here. Rift Tower going to be dropped.
This will secure at least the dragon, if not the kill.
Also lands, but Silas able to steal away the little assault. Hellman fired off his ult, able to catch a few with it, but just keeping the team away really. Rift Tower doesn't get the charge, but he doesn't need to. The tower falls anyway. Invul just going to make sure he doesn't get the second one though. Not the best use of Rift Tower, but even just creating the pressure there is at least nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. It's got to the point where you just want to create pressure any way you can for Vanir, and it did mean that Invul had to coalesce around that outer mid lane turret, and it was going to go down anyway, whatever happened. And with that turret, I think it's probably the most important turret in the game to break open. That outer mid turret opens up so many avenues if it is taken down, particularly relatively early in the game.
Maybe seeing Nocturne come down here as Silas does use the Nautilus ult to knock down Denzel, but Nocturne finally going to come in, and the Akali TPing down as well, going to flash forward, trying to pick up the kill, but Denzel able to finish him off as a 3v1 down the bot lane means that Silas is going to be picked up as he wanted to go for the aggressive play there, but the TP and the Nocturne ult coming down means that he was it was less of a 1v1 than he thought.
Yeah. The fear right at the end, so he flashed with the fear on him, and that I think just meant he couldn't secure the kill onto LeBlanc there.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Almost able to pick up the kill. I like what he's going for. Trying to get the shutdown onto LeBlanc with the Nautilus ult means that she was locked up for a long time, but even so, Nocturne ult is so powerful just for this reason alone of the like kind of danger zone around Nocturne is so large that if you don't have deep vision in their jungle and you don't know where he is, you could be in danger at any point just by pushing up slightly in the lane.
I mean, it does have a very apt name, the Paranoia.
Yeah, it is very appropriately named for sure.
Yeah. We haven't really seen Yonsei able to get into this game right now. Compare it to Jungo, the Nocturne. He just hasn't really been able to get into the game to be able to get any good ganks off. And I think that comes with the fact that Viego is one of the best snowballers in the game, and he just wasn't able to get anything in the early game. And now is kind of really struggling to do anything in these fights. He does have finished Divine Sundra though, which can be amazing, keeping himself alive, particularly against the Stridebreaker Nocturne. He'll deal a lot of damage now that that's complete.
Dragon coming up very soon. It looks like be interesting to see if Invul wants to contest this, as it will be soul point for they will be looking towards soul point after this Drake if they can get it, as Optician going to try and land the chains, but the jump away from LeBlanc means that she's not able to get it, and it looks like they maybe want to try and go for Baron here, at least bait it to try and pull Vanir up, but Vanir going to keep the Nocturne and Akali down by the Ocean Drake, as Renekton's going to check it and maybe see what's going on there. Looks like they might be able to get it.
Yeah, I liked the idea by Invul. They have to try and trade. They can't 5v5 at this point. Interestingly though, Falio is going to try to get onto the dragon here, and Nocturne might have to be a little bit careful.
The Akali's still there. The ult burned, but it's going to get stunned up and not able to fall, able to smite it away as Faleo is now still in the pit. Nocturne going to flash out of the pit. Very nice use, at least burning the flash there, but for just the ult is at least a little victory you can take. Akali going to land with the Renekton. Just going to back off after that, and yeah, it's interesting. I can see what Invul were going for by trying maybe to force them to the dragon, the Baron, sorry. Ooh, Root going to land. Land's unable to manage to get away, but I can see what they were going for, but it just means now that the next Drake is Vanir know that Invul have to fight, and even if they don't go there, they can maybe go for the Baron, do a similar play, because Invul have to be at every single Drake now. Whereas, you know, Vanir can just be where they want and move where they want and apply pressure much easier because they have the Drake advantage, especially when it's such a powerful soul like Ocean.
This is really, really interesting, as normally Invul are in the driving seat position. They love to early stack dragons and be in this position. We've seen it, I think, for the last kind of 3 or 4 weeks, and this is the first time they've really been up against it. So it's very interesting to see how Invul react to being in this position.
Paranoia going to land as the Silas at the top, and Denzel catch behind as well, and Loftician just going to be burned down. This LeBlanc and Nocturne combo is working extremely well here, meaning that every time that one of the Invul members wants to side lane, they just keep getting picked off.
Yeah, and now it is a very possible Baron pool.
Ooh, Akali going in onto Hellman here, bursting him up. He gonna land, able to jump back on, able to pick it up right into the arms of Renekton, and Renekton able to pick up the kill. 1 for 1 going there as Akali picks up a kill for herself.
Yeah, but the thing is though, there's a turret going down in the top lane for that trade as well. A 1 for 1 may be worth, but not when the turret is involved as well. And Invul are really struggling to get these even trades.
Okay, Renekton looking to go in here. Nautilus all going to land. Xayah all used up as well. Okay, very nice job from Flair there, managing to just get in and burn both ults and apply pressure, meaning that if they're able to land a hook or maybe an engage while their ults are on cooldown, it'll be much more effective next time.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, two big team fight ultimates taken away. If they can look to get another trade in before they are up. But at this point, Nautilus is quite a low cooldown, actually. So I don't think Invul will be able to get a trade in before, at the very least, depth charge is up.
Yeah, we're seeing both teams. Invul kind of sticking together a lot more now. Maybe realizing that it's kind of hard for them to, especially the Salas to side lane. Maybe the Renekton will stand more of a chance as he is that little bit tankier. Invul clearing out the vision in their jungle, making sure that they definitely have control of their jungle right now. Everfrost going to land. The E goes wide, meaning that they're not able to get onto a land. They're very unfortunate for Loftish and them, just missing the Everfrost route and the E, meaning that Invul aren't able to follow up on it.
Yeah. And that is some, again, for Invul now, some team fight ultimates that they wish they had, or will not have for quite a while.
Yeah, just Renekton ult burned, but even still, it's a flash burn from the Xayah, though, is the big thing to take away from it. That is one of the big carries on the side of Vanir that you can now get on much more easy than you could before, now with the flash being down. Obviously, ult is very close to being back up. But that is maybe the cause of the ult being down from the earlier fight, is that they were able to burn that flash, whereas maybe if Xayah had ult, they wouldn't have been able to before.
Definitely.
And that does mean that Flash will be on cooldown for the Drake as well, as it is being pinged. It is a very big thing to note for that. Invul just making sure that they've got all the small advantages they can get in this fight, because they'll need them when they are 3 Drakes and almost 4k gold down at this point.
50 seconds until Ocean Dragon is up. This will be, I think, potentially a determining factor in this game now. If Vanir pick this up, it will be an Herculean task for Invul to overcome. The Ocean Soul is such a big benefit in these games.
Definitely, Ocean Soul is huge. One of the probably the best song in the game, right? Maybe you argue Infernal, but especially when you're looking at, as you mentioned, the Akali, it's just very hard to get through a team that has Ocean Soul on it. As we are seeing the team's position here, maybe looking, both teams looking obviously that want this Drake. We see Loftish is on the top lane right now, but does have TP to follow up if needed. Gonna land a stun onto the Nautilus. Hook gonna go wide. The Flare is on the front line here, taking up the Nautilus. Oh my, Diego just gonna get bursted out before the fight even starts. Flare's got 4 on him as the backline is on as well, but Salas is left alone, meaning that just Invul is going to be picked up one by one. Denzel finally falls to Flair, but the hook going to land, meaning that Flair is going to fall himself, and just the Thresh left alive is looking very dire for Invul here, as the Drake is probably going to go towards Vanir and much more. Maybe Baron, maybe Towers. We'll have to see what else.
I like this. You don't really need to send everyone to one objective. You can take both very easily. And I think it's just going to be Baron started up as well. I think potentially a little risky, but at the same time, I think it's the right call. You want to get both objectives as quickly as possible. And Dragon has been slain. Now, Diego is up. Will he be here in time, though? That's the question.
This Drake is the Baron is HP is already falling so fast. It looks like if he's going to get there, it'll be very close. Does have the flash. Yes! Very nice steal coming out there. Managing to just flash over and get the smite just because Nocturne was very close but not there just yet, and also had the smite on cooldown from using it on the Drake earlier, means that Invul able to get Baron here, and I think it's on all 4 members that are currently alive. Let me check. Oh, it's not on Renekton, but currently Baron on 3 members of Invul is definitely a lifeline in this game.
Yeah, I did say it was risky. I think potentially the LeBlanc, I think Denzel should have come onto Baron as well. When you have your jungler on the Dragon, he doesn't need any help. And there just simply wasn't enough damage with just the Xayah on that Baron. I think that may have been a slight overestimate from Vanir there. But in the end, it's still Ocean Soul. And that is kind of ridiculously big.
Also landing onto Hellman, but just able to lantern out to safety, which means that will be on cooldown, so that they can't get pressured so hard on power. But obviously looking very dangerous for Invul here, as they do have the Baron to maybe keep Vanir at bay, but Baron only lasts so long, whereas of course Ocean Soul is going to last for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that is the big thing, permanency of the buff. It does mean though that for those next kind of 2 minutes, it is a much stronger Invul side.
Oh, Claire going to be forced to ult here as Denzel and Zal looking to maybe apply some pressure. Next able to just ult and make them back off.
We just ticked over the 30-minute mark, and even though Vanir seems so in control of the game, it's not a huge gold lead. It's only about 4.5k, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow, Denzel, sorry, I was taken aback there. Denzel going over the wall into 4 members of Invul, and Thrasher landing very nicely onto him, meaning that just he gets bursted up entirely, and this is huge for the side of Invul. That is a bounty into the pockets, and one of the members taken down means that they can start applying more pressure around the map. That was very, very greedy by Denzel to just face check over the wall there into 4 members of Invul, especially when they have the amount of CC that they do.
Good reactions though from Lama particularly. The death sentence really was a death sentence there by for Mama, and yeah, Denzel just biting off a bit more than he can chew with that LeBlanc jump.
And Invul able to apply as much pressure as they can, able to chunk down the tier 2 tower, not able to finish it off, but at least able to get that tier 1 mid tower finally, which is very important, of course.
Yeah. And the bot turret taking a significant chunk of damage there from Falio as well. Now, the Baron buff I think is about to expire. As it does, yeah, it's just going to expire very, very soon. And now it does. So Invul will no longer have that buff. No more Baron minions as well. The lifeline that it gave them is now up. What will they do without it? That's the question. They do not have the push that it provides. They don't quite have as much safety without it.
I just looked at how much gold Zaya has, and it's absolutely crazy. 360, like 70 CS and 5 kills. I can't look at the exact amount of gold she has, but she's on 4 items, and closing in on the 5th on her final item as well means that this Zaya is very terrifying. Even with the Akali and LeBlanc looking to constantly blow up the carries of Invul, it's still crazy.
375 CS in 32 minutes is beyond unbelievable.
Person in chat told me how to look at the gold. Thank you very much. But yeah, absolutely crazy. That is 16k currently on the Zaya to Hellman's 12k, which is still the 2nd highest on Invul, just behind Renekton, but a crazy lead coming out for the Zaya here.
Yeah, proof
very far ahead of the rest of the team as well.
Proof that CS is the way to go. You can be fed as hell, but if you've only got 100 CS, your gold lead will not be as much as you think. We're approaching the 400 CS mark, and it's not even 34 minutes. That is seriously impressive. And now, as we wait for kind of the next fight, Baron is up in 1:18. Elder Dragon is up in less than a minute, and 4-stack Elder Dragon is unbelievably powerful if Vanir are able to get the Elder Dragon. You would kind of think with how strong they are right now, getting the Elder Dragon could be the final nail in the coffin for an Invul side still kind of chasing after those small victories.
Yeah, when you speak of lifelines, Elder is definitely the final one. Is almost, I would say, like 70-80% of the time, the team that gets Elder probably wins the game, as it is insane team fight buff that just means that you don't have to worry about what 20%, 15% of their HP at the end. If you do see Invul moving in here, as the members of Vanir are currently split up. Akali on the bot lane, moving in now, but LeBlanc's still on the top lane. As
with TP though, does have both sums up.
Invul looking to try and get at least positioning around this dragon.
The LeBlanc is TPing quite early though, actually.
Okay, we're seeing the hook go wide and the Viego W go wide as well, as Paranoia comes in straight on to the Aphelios and just gets bursted down entirely.
It's going to be
all of Invul is taken apart as Akali jumps in and chunks down the rest of the team. Xayah, feathers flying, pick up a triple kill herself as the ult picks up the final two members of Invul, as Akali was just chilling in the top lane.
That is pretty brutal from Vanir there. That is a decimating team fight. And the game obviously is over. They're going to get the final two turrets here. A very, very dominating display by Vanir here as they look to finish the game. And we get the Nexus falling in just over 35 minutes. Really, really well played by Vanir.